Hey gang, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we've got a combination. I got a kitchen tool that I absolutely love, and I'm going to show you how I've used it. But then I'm also going to share the recipe that I used it for with you. So I've got this amazing food chopper, and we're making mushroom gravy. We're going to get to that right after we roll the intro, but before we do, I want to make sure that I take a minute to thank you for watching my videos. I truly appreciate you taking your time to do that, and all of your comments really help other people who are watching the videos as well. I get a lot of comments on comments, so thank you so much for that, and we're going to roll the intro and get right into it. What's up next? Well, I want mushroom gravy to go with my steak. So I've cleaned my mushrooms and I'm now placing them on top of the grid. And this is making chopped mushrooms. If I wanted to make them all exactly the same dimensions, I would, like slice them probably in half. But I'm not doing that because I don't feel like I really need to be that precise today. I just want to get them, I want to get them into roughly the same size pieces, and that's what this is doing. And could I slice them by hand? Yes, of course I could. But believe it or not, this is actually a whole lot faster and easier. Even easier when I don't have to try and hold the camera with one hand. All right, let me finish these up and I'll show you what they look like at the end. Okay, so the chopper comes with lots of other implements too. This is the large size grid. There's also one that's very small, and I use that one very frequently to make salsa. But if you take a look at these mushrooms, they're the length of however big the mushroom was, but they are all the same square size, and that'll be absolutely fine. Mushrooms shrink up to almost nothing when you cook them anyway. So I'm going to get busy with a little sauteing, and then I'll make me some mushroom gravy. All right, so we've got about a tablespoon of butter and about a tablespoon of olive oil in the pan, along with all of our chopped mushrooms. And this is going to take a few minutes, so we're not going to sit here and watch it. But basically what happens with mushrooms is, right now I'm on medium. I'm going to actually turn it down a little bit because I want the mushrooms to start sweating out their water. And then I think basically I'm going to make a roux by adding a little more butter and some flour and probably about a cup of water. I want a nice thick mushroom gravy. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I change my mind along the way, as I am wont to do. Stay tuned. Okay, so mushrooms are all done cooking. I've added a total of about another tablespoonful of butter and olive oil. That's a total, about half of each. Don't get too carried away here. You can see all the grease down there. And actually what I'm going to do is kind of push my mushrooms out of the way. This is not the ideal way to make a roux, by the way, but it's the way I'm doing it today. And I'm going to get about a tablespoon of flour and sprinkle it in here. Now the deal is, in order to make a good gravy, you have got to cook the roux, and that means you got to cook the flour in with the grease, with the butter. And this is the same if you were making, turkey gravy or chicken gravy, drippings from the pan, whatever. You use an equal amount of flour and an equal amount of drippings, grease, or whatever you're using to make this happen. And oh, by the way, if you have a tablespoon of leftover black coffee, that's always a good addition to a dark gravy as well. So my mushrooms were completely cooked before I added the additional olive oil and butter. We're going to let that continue cooking for another minute or so. I'm going to get my package of flour out of the way before I make a mistake. And I got about a cup of water ready to go. And I might be underestimating a little bit. I might need a little bit more flour, might need a little bit more water. We're going to see how this goes. Oops, just spilled it on the floor. And I'm thinking my mushrooms look pretty good. I'm not seeing any white specks of flour. Yeah, I can you kind of see how it's not white? It's actually a very light tan down there in the bottom. So we're gonna put our water in a little bit at a time, and then you want to stir it up. So whenever you're making gravy, if you want to avoid lumpy gravy, you have to do it slowly. If you just dump a whole bunch of water in, that's how you end up with lumpy gravy. And you don't have to use water. You can use, see how this is coming together already? Yeah, this is looking good. You can use beef broth or chicken broth or any number of other things. I think I'm going to be able to get 2 cups of water in here probably. And one of the really cool things about making gravy is you can bring it back up to a boil and boil it off if you got it too loose, too liquidy. Or if it's too thick, you can always add more water. Now, I mean, there is a certain point at which that doesn't happen because you might thin it out too much and lose your flavor. But we're going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like when we're all done. And there you have it, guys. This gravy is done. I'm actually going to turn it off. I had brought it up to a boil, stirred it again, and yeah, see, we're nice and thick. And that's about the way that I want it. So to me, it's kind of a cross between having just sauteed mushrooms and mushroom gravy. This would be really good with sauteed onions in there as well, along with the mushrooms. But this is what we're going to be having tonight. Oh, and why did I want mushroom gravy? Because I got this T-bone steak right here. We're going to be cooking up in the air fryer next. Yeah, I'm excited about that.